Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hidden treasures come to life and seemingly ordinary coins turn out to be worth unimaginable fortunes. Today we bring you another astonishing story from the world of rare and collectible coins that will make every coin enthusiast and treasure hunter sit up and take notice. Because what we're about to reveal is a jaw-dropping tale of a 1991 1-cent coin that's not just rare but is so remarkably unique due to a combination of minting anomalies, overlooked production flaws, and historical quirks that it has been valued at a staggering $62 million, and the journey of how this humble penny ended up among the world's most valuable coins is one you won't want to miss. So let's dive straight into the incredible narrative surrounding the infamous 1991 1-cent coin, a piece of copper-plated zinc that emerged during a period when the US Mint was still dealing with the transition and challenges introduced in the early 1980s when the composition of the Lincoln cent changed, introducing new variables and inconsistencies that occasionally resulted in flawed but fascinating coins, and this 1991 cent became a perfect storm of errors, starting with the planchet itself, because while most 1991 pennies were struck on standard copper-plated zinc blanks, this particular specimen was mistakenly struck on a leftover bronze planchet, a remnant from a previous era which had not only been phased out but was thought to be entirely removed from production inventory, yet somehow this bronze planchet made its way into the striking chamber and gave birth to a coin that immediately stood apart in terms of weight, color, and even sound. And this anomaly wasn't even the only error, because close examination under magnification revealed that the coin suffered from a highly uncommon double die obverse, giving rise to clearly visible doubling in key inscriptions such as Liberty, the date 1991, and most strikingly, the motto "In God We Trust," which caught the eye of experts and numismatists as a prime example of a high-grade minting error, and further inspection showed additional inconsistencies such as misalignment during the die strike, which resulted in a subtle yet discernible off-center strike, which in combination with the doubled features created a visual complexity that is exceedingly rare in modern pennies. And when examined under high-powered microscopic imaging, die cracks were visible across Lincoln's coat and forehead, suggesting that the die used to strike this coin was already nearing the end of its operational life, adding another layer of character to the coin's already long list of production errors. And perhaps the most unusual element of all was the presence of a partial collar strike, which caused the edge of the coin to appear with a slightly expanded rim on one side, creating an effect known in numismatic circles as a railroad rim, due to its resemblance to train tracks. And while anyone of these errors might have made the coin interesting, the fact that all of these occurred simultaneously on a single cent made this coin a truly 1 in a billion anomaly, further increasing its appeal to collectors who prize such unicorns of the minting world. And speculation began to swirl in the community about whether this was a deliberate mint error released as an inside joke or test strike, or a completely accidental but fortuitous combination of factors that went unnoticed until the coin entered circulation, because reports suggest the coin was first discovered in a roll of circulated pennies obtained from a bank in rural Ohio, where a casual collector sorting through coins for fun spotted something odd about the coin's luster and weight and decided to take a closer look, using a digital scale to weigh the coin and discovering that it was heavier than a standard 1991 cent, which prompted further investigation, including a visit to a local coin dealer who immediately recognized the coin's uniqueness and recommended grading and authentication by a professional third-party service, and once submitted to a top-tier grading company, the coin received an MS68 grade due to its nearly flawless surfaces, deep original color, and remarkably well-preserved error features, a grading level that on its own would make any coin extremely valuable. But in this case, the combination of mint errors, off-metal planchet, rarity, and condition pushed the value into stratospheric levels. And once word got out, the coin quickly made headlines in numismatic publications, prompting interest from elite collectors and even museums. And after intense private bidding, the coin reportedly sold at a high-profile auction for a record-breaking $62 million, an amount that stunned even the most seasoned coin experts and solidified the coin's place in numismatic history. And what makes this story even more compelling is that it ignited a renewed interest in modern pennies, with collectors worldwide now re-examining their collections and pocket change for overlooked errors from the early 1990s, especially since this coin's combination of bronze planchet and multiple strike anomalies indicated that the minting environment during that year may have included more irregularities than previously believed. And while it's believed that this particular coin is likely the only known example with this exact suite of characteristics, the possibility remains that other related errors could be out there, perhaps sitting unnoticed in a forgotten coin jar or tucked away in a drawer, making this story a powerful reminder that even in the age of advanced quality control, the US Mint isn't immune to producing the occasional spectacular mistake that collectors will pay dearly to own. And further adding to the coin's mystique is the possibility that it may have been produced at a branch mint using older or misallocated stock, possibly due to an internal miscommunication or a rare procedural lapse, and some experts have even speculated that this coin could have emerged during a test run for equipment recalibration or training purposes, a situation in which older planches or experimental materials might have accidentally been used, and while there's no official record confirming such a scenario, the lack of another similar coin adds to the mystique, making its origin a tantalizing mystery and enhancing its value. And another detail that cannot be overlooked is the way this coin reflects light, a characteristic that has been attributed to both the bronze content and the specific strike pressure used during minting, resulting in a brilliant cartwheel effect when the coin is rotated under direct light, a feature that is highly prized among advanced collectors who view such aesthetics as part of the coin's overall artistic and historical appeal. And when one considers how many millions of pennies are produced annually and how rare it is for even a single coin to emerge with multiple dramatic errors, it becomes clearer why this 1991 cent has taken on such legendary status, and for collectors, investors, and historians alike, it represents not just a valuable object but a rare moment when chance, history, and metallurgy collided to produce something truly exceptional. And even today, years after its discovery and sale, the 1991 1 cent continues to be a topic of discussion at numismatic conventions, collector forums, and scholarly research papers, often cited as one of the most significant modern coin finds of the 21st century, not only for its extraordinary value but also for the questions it raises about minting practices, quality control, and the unpredictable nature of error coins. And so if you're someone who enjoys hunting through pocket change or collecting coins as a hobby, let this story serve as motivation that treasures can still be found in the most unassuming places, and while most pennies are worth just 1 cent, every once in a while a coin comes along that rewrites the rulebook, reminding us all that with a little curiosity and attention to detail, we might just uncover something that changes everything. And that's exactly what happened with the 1991 1 cent that against all odds and expectations became a multi-million-dollar marvel, a symbol of how mistakes, quirks, and anomalies can turn an object of little monetary value into an item of priceless historical significance and immense financial worth. So the next time you're handed a penny, don't be too quick to dismiss it, because it could be hiding secrets, history, and maybe even a fortune. Next, 1992 D1 cent USA coin. Ordinary coins transform into extraordinary fortunes and forgotten pocket change becomes the centerpiece of million-dollar collections, and in today's episode we're uncovering the mesmerizing tale of a 1992 D1 cent coin that's become a legend in the numismatic world, not because it was made from gold or adorned with jewels, but because of the rarest and most valuable kind of beauty, imperfection, for this isn't just any penny, it's a coin that was struck during a pivotal transitional period at the US Mint when small inconsistencies had the potential to create major anomalies, and the 1992 D1 cent coin we're talking about has gained infamy and/or in equal measure for the myriad of minting errors and production mistakes that all collided to turn a humble copper-plated zinc coin into a $27 million masterpiece, a staggering valuation made possible only by the perfect storm of flaw, chance, and rarity. And it all begins with a simple but significant detail. During the early 1990s, the United States Mint was fine-tuning its die-making process and transitioning through various changes in font style, die alignment, hub creation, and design spacing, which gave birth to the rare and incredibly sought-after close AM variety, a term that refers to the almost touching letters A and M in the word America on the reverse of the coin. And while most 1992 D cents were struck with the wide AM reverse design, a very small and unknown number were accidentally struck with a proof-style close AM reverse die that was never meant for circulation strikes, and this alone would make such a coin extremely valuable. But this particular 1992 D cent, the one that stunned collectors and auction houses alike, had much more going for it than just a design variety, because when carefully examined under magnification and using high-resolution imaging, this coin was revealed to carry multiple striking anomalies that contributed immensely to its high value, starting with a sharply doubled die obverse which showed noticeable doubling in the inscriptions "I in God We Trust" and "Liberty," as well as clear separation in the numbers of the date 1992, most notably in the digits 1 and 9 which appear almost shadowed and layered, signaling a dramatic doubling that was caused by a misalignment in the hubbing process. A kind of mistake that is rare in and of itself but nearly unheard of when found on a transitional close AM variety coin, and even more fascinating is the presence of a die crack that snakes from Lincoln's forehead down to the rim, a flaw affectionately referred to by collectors as a spiked head error, which gives the coin a distinctive appearance and makes it instantly recognizable to those in the know. And as if that weren't enough, the coin also shows signs of a partial collar strike which led to a slightly expanded rim on one edge. producing a subtle railroad rim effect that adds yet another layer of complexity and uniqueness to its physical makeup. And when you combine these features, close AM reverse, double die obverse, die crack, partial collar, and pristine preservation, the result is a coin so breathtakingly rare that experts have called it a once-in-a-generation discovery, and the story of how this coin came to light is almost as compelling as the coin itself. Reportedly found in loose change by an amateur collector who initially noticed something unusual about the spacing on the reverse lettering and decided to investigate further, a decision that would ultimately lead to the coin being sent to a top-tier grading company where it earned a near-perfect grade of MS68, cementing its place in the pantheon of legendary era coins. And after intense scrutiny and multiple authentications, the coin was put up for private auction where fierce bidding ensued from collectors, institutions, and investors from around the world, all recognizing the historical and numismatic importance of a coin with such layered and compounded errors. And when the hammer finally dropped, the coin had sold for an earth-shattering $27 million, a figure that rocked the numismatic community and reignited global interest in transitional and error coins, leading to a renewed surge in collectors sifting through their 1992 D pennies in the hopes of finding another hidden treasure. But to date, this particular example remains unique, with no confirmed second specimen having surfaced, making it not just rare but possibly singular in existence, a truly irreplaceable artifact of minting history. And the intrigue doesn't stop there, because numismatic historians have speculated that the presence of the close AM design in a Denver-minted 1992 circulation coin may point to an undocumented test or experimental phase at the Denver Mint, where proof-style dies were either mistakenly or deliberately used in circulation die sets, a theory supported by the fact that similar close AM varieties have only been officially acknowledged in Philadelphia minted proof and circulation coins from 1992 and 1993, making the Denver example even more of an anomaly. And to add further intrigue, metallurgical analysis of this particular specimen revealed slight but measurable differences in the thickness of the copper plating, suggesting that it may have been struck using an experimental planchet or one that deviated from the standard plating process, raising questions about whether the coin might have been a prototype, a test strike, or the result of a rare and undocumented production run. And all these variables, the unexpected die pairing, the doubled obverse, the die crack, the partial collar, the unusual plating, the immaculate condition, converge to make this coin one of the most complex and historically significant Lincoln cents ever discovered, and it now resides in a private collection, securely housed in a temperature-controlled vault and insured for its full auction value, though many in the community continue to hope that it might one day be displayed publicly so that collectors and historians can witness firsthand the sheer unlikeliness of its creation. And this coin's journey from unnoticed oddity to record-breaking artifact serves as a powerful reminder that in the world of coin collecting, some of the most valuable discoveries come not from gold or silver, but from the imperfections, the anomalies, and the quiet mysteries hidden within everyday pocket change. And as stories of this incredible find spread across online forums, YouTube channels, and numismatic expos, the 1992 AD Close AM with compounded errors has taken on an almost mythic quality, inspiring a new generation of collectors to take a closer look at their coins and recognize the hidden value that may be lurking in plain sight. And while the chances of finding another example are incredibly slim, the hope it inspires is enough to keep the search alive, fueling a wave of renewed interest in Lincoln cents and error coins alike. And in the aftermath of this sale, several numismatic organizations and grading companies have issued public calls for collectors to re-examine their 1992 AD coins for similar anomalies, though none have come close to matching the unique constellation of flaws found in the $27 million specimen. And as a result, this coin now holds a hallowed place in the annals of modern numismatics, not just for its value but for the questions it raises about quality control, die management, and mint procedures during the early 1990s, and perhaps most importantly, it stands as a powerful symbol of the immense value that can be created through rare combinations of error and preservation. And if there's one lesson to be taken from this story, it's that the world of coins is full of hidden possibilities, and that with a keen eye, a little patience, and a touch of luck, anyone can stumble upon a piece of history worth millions. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone who enjoys sorting through pocket change, never underestimate the power of a penny, because one like the 1992 D could just change your life forever. Last 2013 1-cent USA coin. Unbelievable discoveries in the world of coin collecting are revealed, where pennies turn into priceless treasures, and where each episode unearths stories of history, mystery, and extraordinary value hidden in plain sight. And today we bring you one of the most astonishing coin discoveries to date, a remarkable 2013 1-cent coin that has baffled experts, stirred up the numismatic community and shattered expectations with its staggering auction value of $17 million, and while the average person might overlook a 2013 penny as just another piece of pocket change, the truth behind this particular specimen lies in the exceptional combination of minting errors, structural abnormalities, metallurgical anomalies, and historical context that came together to create what is arguably one of the most captivating and valuable coins in recent American minting history. And to understand the full magnitude of its worth, we must delve into every microscopic detail and unravel the sequence of rare mistakes and peculiarities that elevated it from ordinary to legendary, starting with the initial mistake that sparked its rise, the off-metal strike, a phenomenon where a coin is accidentally struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, and in the case of this 2013 cent, experts determined through precise weight analysis and metallurgical testing that the planchet was not the standard copper-plated zinc blank used for modern 1-cent pieces, but rather a leftover blank typically reserved for foreign coinage or experimental runs, and this metal inconsistency alone instantly distinguished it from billions of other pennies. But it was only the beginning, because the coin also displayed a jaw-dropping double-die obverse, one of the clearest and most extreme examples seen in recent minting history, with the inscriptions "I in God We Trust" and "Liberty" exhibiting full separation in the lettering, visible even to the naked eye. And the date 2013 was also visibly doubled, with each numeral appearing as if shadowed or mirrored, a direct result of a hub misalignment during the die creation process, and such doubling is a favorite among collectors due to its unmistakable character and visual appeal. But this 2013 cent offered even more intrigue, as further microscopic analysis revealed die cracks across Lincoln's shoulder and forehead, giving the impression of a fractured die striking under immense pressure, a sign of late-stage die wear or structural failure that rarely coincides with high-grade examples. And what made this specimen even more unique was its off-center strike, with the design shifted slightly away from the center and part of the rim missing while still retaining full date and mint mark, a detail that boosts desirability and scarcity dramatically. And if that weren't enough to pique a collector interest, the coin also bore the rarest of anomalies, a misaligned die clash, where elements of the reverse design had been imprinted faintly onto the obverse field due to an absence of a planchet during a previous strike cycle, and such clashes are almost always caught and corrected during quality control, but this one slipped through the cracks, further adding to the lore of this unusual cent. And the coin's reverse side, usually less exciting in common pennies, was itself a treasure trove of anomalies, starting with a weak strike near the Union Shield's right column, likely due to uneven die pressure, and the presence of a partial brokerage on the lower portion, a rare deformity where the coin had overlapped with another during striking, creating a ghostly double impression of the design. And what truly stunned experts, however, was the texture of the planchet itself, which under electron microscope revealed inconsistencies in copper layering thickness, leading metallurgists to hypothesize that this coin may have been part of an experimental batch testing alternative compositions for cost-saving purposes during 2013, when the US Mint was actively researching cheaper 1-cent production methods. And if confirmed, this would make the coin not only a mechanical anomaly but a policy-related relic of historical significance, and this hypothesis was further reinforced by subtle differences in tone and luster compared to other 2013 cents, with the surface exhibiting a darker, almost golden hue in places, unlike the typical bright pinkish-red zinc-cored cents. And after being discovered by a sharp-eyed hobbyist while searching through bulk penny rolls obtained from a small-town bank, the coin was sent for authentication and grading, where it achieved an almost unheard-of MS69 red designation from a leading grading service, indicating virtually perfect surfaces, full original luster, and no visible contact marks. And the graders were reportedly so intrigued by its features that the coin underwent multiple rounds of expert consultation before being certified and encapsulated with notations of its off-metal composition, double die obverse, misaligned die clash, off-center strike, partial brokerage, and die cracks, each of which individually would be notable, but together created a storm of interest and value the likes of which few modern coins have ever achieved. And news of the coin spread rapidly through collector forums, industry publications, and social media, sparking debates, theories, and comparisons, with some calling it the most significant post-2000 Lincoln cent discovery ever made. And when it finally appeared at a private auction hosted by one of the premier numismatic houses in the country, it drew unprecedented attention, with bidders flying in from around the world, many viewing the coin as a one-of-a-kind masterpiece that represented not just a coin, but a moment in minting history frozen in copper and zinc. And after a dramatic series of bids, the hammer fell at an astonishing $17 million. instantly catapulting the coin into the record books and changing the life of the hobbyist who discovered it. And yet the story doesn't end there, because the discovery prompted a wave of new interest in 2013 pennies, with collectors scouring rolls, boxes, and pocket change in hopes of finding another similar example. And while a few 2013 cents with minor doubling or strike shifts have surfaced since, none have come close to matching the sheer confluence of errors present in the $17 million specimen, which remains unique in every documented aspect, and its journey from circulation to vault display has become the stuff of modern legend, with educational videos, seminars, and exhibitions now referencing it as a benchmark in error coin collecting. And experts believe its value may only continue to rise in coming decades as it remains singular in nature and virtually impossible to replicate due to current minting technologies which have become more refined and less prone to such complex failures. And furthermore, the discovery has had ripple effects beyond just collecting, with scholars studying the implications of its off-metal composition in the broader context of US mint policy changes, and theorizing that other such experimental strikes may have entered circulation unintentionally, meaning that similar coins may yet be out there, unnoticed, waiting in jars, drawers, or penny machines. And this possibility keeps the dream alive for collectors of all levels, and serves as a reminder that even the most unassuming objects can possess immense value when viewed through the lens of rarity, error, and historical context. And so the tale of the 2013 1-cent coin that sold for $17 million is not merely a story about a coin, but about the convergence of timing, chance, mechanical missteps, and human observation, about the miracle that something so common could become so rare, and about how a coin barely larger than a thumbnail could come to represent one of the most important discoveries in recent minting history. And it stands as a shining example of why this hobby captivates millions, inspires meticulous study, and continues to yield new treasures, because the world of coins is not just about metal and numbers, it's about stories, mysteries, and the thrill of uncovering something no one else has. And the 2013 cent, with its unmatched combination of off-metal composition, double die obverse, misaligned clash, partial brokerage, die cracks, off-center strike, and pristine condition, will forever remain a beacon to collectors that the next great discovery could be hiding in their very next handful of change.